because you guys were underdogs.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I told you I didn't have you pick. I don't often pick teams or games. We kind of let it play out on the field, but I wasn't inspired to go to that game.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was your mindset going into that game?
Nah, before the game, I knew we were finna win because my whole high school career I've never lost a tape. I'm Vinny Villanova, and this is Behind the Work.
Welcome to another edition of Behind the Work. I'm your host, Dante Shepard, and I'm here today with Navarre's big-time linebacker, Mr. Vinny Villanova. Vinny, how you doing, my man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's so glad that you was able to join us for this interview today, man. I want to know so much about Vinny. Vinny, you grew up in Navarre,
Yes, sir.
all right? Played youth league football to high school.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your youth league days.
Yes, sir. So, been playing football since I was like 6. I had grown up with a bunch of dudes. Youth league, it was great. I played a bunch of different positions. I really wanted to run the ball, so I played fullback. And yeah, we were great in youth. We had EJ, CJ, then a bunch of dudes that still play, like my friend Braxton, John. But
And you're talking about EJ Love,
yes, sir.
CJ Hill.
Yes, sir.
So all you guys were on the same team.
Yes, sir.
Crazy how the landscape have really transformed since the transfer era.
Yes, sir.
But you stayed home.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still at Navarre?
Community has always had my back, so we gotta kind of give back, stay with them, and I just love the coaches here.
What changed with Vinny?
Yeah.
Because you were a little chubby,
Yeah.
all right, and you transitioned from being a lineman to playing some fullback and tight end and positions like that.
Yeah.
But now you're a stocky linebacker.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Really, my sophomore year, I realized I wasn't getting the playing time I really wanted. I was behind he's at USF now, Zave, and then a couple dudes, Dwayne Clark. But I really realized I wasn't in the shape I wanted to be. Sophomore to junior year, I really locked in. I feel like my mindset changed, and then I was really waking up early, going to bed late, in the gym, and then I kind of got too skinny for my junior year. So this past summer, I just gained some weight, put on like 20-something pounds.
Bulking up.
Yes, sir.
Really hitting the weights.
Yes, sir.
Coach Bagley is your new head coach.
Yes, sir.
But he's been y'all DC for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
During the time of some of y'all most successful years.
Coach Bagley, he's also the weightlifting coach, and he's really just pushed us. That weight room is a whole different thing. Like, everyone's yelling, everyone's screaming. I wasn't used to it at first.
The energy.
Yes, sir. We got a bunch of energy, but I got used to it. Really, like, stuck to it, and kind of just felt like it was my home. It was my culture. So I stuck to the weights, and me and the guys put on a bunch of weight.
How has the team dynamics shifted or changed since he became the head coach?
So I think a bunch of people thought that it's changed a lot, but really Coach Walls was a great coach, but then I feel like the transition wasn't like a huge effect because Coach Bagley has always had that huge impact on the program. He's always been, he's always like a yeller. He always yells at practice, but he's a great leader.
Full of energy.
Yes, sir. Full of energy, and great leader. And I don't know, Coach Bagley, like the first day head coach, he said nothing's gonna be different, and it really hasn't been different. Little shifts, but I don't know. I feel like he just really pushed us to be great.
You know, that's amazing because y'all had created a winning culture. And most people would say, why fix what ain't broke? If you've been winning with this particular culture, with this particular process, then stick with it.
Yeah.
And so I definitely believe that was a smart move by him, building, that mental toughness. How much does he preach that to you guys?
Every day, every morning, every practice, every day. He just really preaches persistence and like pushing through everything, because he comes up with a quote like each day. There was a quote the other day. He said, hard work always pays off, but you never know when it's going to pay off.
So I see that he's really big on mental toughness, mental development, motivation. What is you guys' motto for the season?
Well, our new one is commit to the flag, which is really just
commit to the flag.
Just means stay loyal to who you are. If you're gonna do this, make sure you put all your work in, because there's really no point coming out every day if you're not going to take advantage of the opportunity.
It's your senior year, and you guys have a particularly young team.
So,
How have you embraced the leadership role?
I've learned from other leaders from past years, learned from their mistakes, and just really picked off of them, like how I need to lead this team. And also I've learned to hold myself accountable, and that way I can hold others accountable, like hold myself to a greater standard.
You know, as a leader, you find out what type of leader you are when you deal with adversity. You know, what type of adversity have you dealt with during your time playing football?
I played a bunch of positions, and I really pushed through, like, others doubting me and not thinking I'm in the right position. But then when I got to my sophomore year, changed to linebacker. I already said I grinded throughout my sophomore to junior year. I'm not gonna say I lost my love for the game, but I was just really doubting myself as a person. What I'm gonna do? And then I went home. I was talking to my parents about possibly like quitting football.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my mom, she really said, you came too far to just give up now. So she said, go back next day to practice, see how it is. Went back next day to practice, and it was just a great practice with friends. I feel like that just really like made me enjoy the game more. Just the fact that I almost quit, go back, have fun with friends, and then the next day I came home to my mom. I was like, thank you for
encouraging you to stick with the game. It's incredible that your mom was there to, you know, encourage you. You know, I know you have your mom and your dad. Your dad being a former coach as well as a president of the park. So I'm assuming that they have great influence in your life.
Yes, sir. Especially my dad. He's really been pushing me. Then my mom's there trying to like soften up a little bit because he's really hard on me. But,
yeah. Who else in your life has been a significant mentor or inspiration, for your career in your life?
Yes, sir. So my grandpa used to be a great mentor along with my grandma, but he passed away in middle school. So.
Oh, wow. So were y'all close?
Yes, they were real close. I went there like almost every day. I was able to play games with him because he was sick, and I don't know, he eventually passed away along with my great aunt around like the same month, so that brought some hard times to me.
Yeah, so y'all had a very close relationship, spent time with him, and he mentored you and loved on you. Did he come to your football games?
He came pretty much every one they could.
Wow. So I know it hit a little different to look to the sideline and not see him there. Yeah. You said that it put a little hard time on you. What were you going through?
So a bunch of people don't really know that I went through like pretty severe anxiety. I wake up in the middle of the night and just have like anxiety attacks. Had to wake up my mom. This is when I was in middle school. I had to wake up my mom to kind of calm me down. And I eventually went to a therapist. Went there for like a year and a half until the anxiety really calmed down.
Man, it's amazing, man. Most people don't know how difficult football can be, and the adversities that a football player deals with. So, Vinny, your grandpa meant a lot to you, and losing him had effects on your life. You know, senior year, I know you wish that he could be here. If you could tell your grandpa something, what would you tell him?
I'd probably tell him that I finally did it, and I'm an impact player now, because when he was there at the youth games, I was decent, but I wasn't where I wanted to be. But now I'm a senior, leading tackler. It's just great that he's finally, he can watch me.
Well, I'm sure that your grandpa's still watching you, looking down on you, and he's saying, that's my Vinny. This is your senior year. Last week was a big week. You guys had the district matchup. You said a little earlier, you won. And you guys pushed through adversity, and your coach really drove mental toughness for that game. What was your mentality going into that game?
I just knew, I've known a bunch of those players on that team, and I didn't text them or anything. I just knew we had it in the bag, because I knew everyone doubted us, and I feel like that pushes us to be greater.
Last season, you had 105 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks. Great season, would you say?
Yes, sir.
How does Vinny top that this year?
I mean, I'm on record to top it right now, so I feel like I just really got to keep going, pushing harder, because last season I said I was working a whole bunch, but this year I feel like my mindset's even stronger.
Were you surprised that you were a super senior?
I mean, I was just honored, really, to be a super senior.
Yeah.
Yes,
What went through your mind when Coach broke the news to you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I was surprised a little bit because
I can see the smile on your face right now.
I was real happy.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
What'd you do?
I kind of like try to keep myself like a little humble.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I was just real happy on the work, the hard work that paid off.
So then, Navarre High School has had some legendary players, players who have made it to the NFL. Most recently, Michael Carter.
Yes, sir.
Right now at Temple, you got Dante Wright. You got in the NFL, Jordan Jefferson. So many tremendous football players have came through Navarre in a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Legacy. What legacy do you want to leave at Navarre?
Coach always talks about some legendary players, not only for their stats, their records. He really comes down to their hard work, and I want to be known as a hard worker and a great young man in Navarre.
Well, you heard it, guys. Vinny Villanova, hard-working and a great young man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out this season as he continues to strive to break records, win games, and make a difference in Navarre football.
I'm Vinny Villanova, and I do work.
And somebody do work.